I would love to say a big thank you and a very warm welcome to my advisors, my mentor, and my coach, Professor Arif, who came all the way from Manchester late afternoon yesterday to be part of this lovely function. So thank you, Professor, for being with us and to share your views and your inspiration and your experiences with us. By all means, it is a need here. And thanks goes to the more than 7 universities are based here in UAE who are participating with us, some of them today, some for the education program tomorrow, and some for the third day, the Big Bang, or the big day, as I keep saying. And the second good news, I've got a couple of good news, that the second good news that SEWA last Thursday has received cancellation certificate from the United Nations Climate Change Office for saving 2.7 tons of CO2 going to the atmosphere. So that is the first time ever Sharjah entity and Sharjah government organization received such a prestigious certification. This is by all means something I'm proud of. When I stepped to the podium back on 22nd of April 2014, nominated by his, or handpicked, if you would, by His Highness to chair SEWA, one of the things that, I'm going international, and everyone, said, what the hell this guy is talking about? International for what? And now this is what? I brought the United Nations here to Sharjah. I'm proud of that. The third good news that the moderator today, Engineer Assam Mullah, who's doing his PhD finally, and hopefully by this time next year we'll be calling him a doctor, inshallah. He will be leading the Great Leaders session today with the panelists. Sorry. And this is again part of my principles when I took over SEWA, that Assam is heading the water department very successfully for almost over 15 years, and expected to be one of the great leaders for this nation, especially for SEWA. And this is part of my commitment to create and give chance to the future generation, future leader, and he's one of them. So good for being with us, and good luck, Assam, for leading the session today. I forget the fourth one. You guys are lucky, otherwise I'll be speaking for too much. Piece of the news which Dr. Tariq said it well here, when the meltdown just started back in end of 2008, I wanted to go and do a conference on financial planning. And I remember I've sent an email, almost everyone whom I knew, that I'm coming up with this financial planning conference, and the name was a conference. And guess the first person who was giving me a piece of advice for life was Professor Arif. He said, Rashid, why don't you talk about sustainable development? It is part of financial planning, is part of it. And believe it or not, it was just like giving me a buzzword. What is this now? Sustainable development, sustainability, what is it all about? Honestly. And I said, yes, sir, by all means, yeah. And I never knew what is it. Then I remember I picked up the phone. I said, Dr. Muhammad Tariq, you're my buddy, please. Can we have a cup of coffee somewhere? He said, yes. I said, I was planning to go for this financial planning conference. And my professor says, why don't you go for a sustainability and sustainable development program instead? So what is this sustainability is all about? And again, Tariq was trying to be a superstar, and was trying to, to speak right and left, but I couldn't understand a word of what he said, because honestly, this is something totally new to this part of the world. We did a lot of research, and the research led me to order some good publications from Amazon.com. And the first thing I did, 3 copies I remember. One I had for myself, talks about sustainability, what is all about. And then the second was for the Sharjah Chamber of Commerce Chairman, His Excellency Ahmed Al-Midfa, and then the Minister of Economy, His Excellency Al-Mansouri. And I went and I met both of them. I said, guys, listen, I'm coming up with this conference, and this is going to be a lovely thing. And the economy has to be driven in a very sustainable way if we want to really to have a better tomorrow. And I started explaining to both of them. They were so kind to receive me and give me really more than an hour plus to start to talk about the importance of sustainability. And so I've given a book as a gift from my side to each one of them separately. I mean, this was Ahmed was met in his office in Sharjah and His Excellency in his office in Dubai, the minister, and both they were very welcoming. And both they did not attend, but they did send someone to represent them on the Congress. And that was back in 2000, February 23rd and 22nd, 23rd of 2009, when we had this conference. And since then, and this is the 9th year, and inshallah next year will be the 10th year, then that will be the wrapping up year. So we don't know if we need your suggestions here what to do next, because the plan was, when I started, to go for a 10-year. Why? Because when I was asked by the media back in 2009, I was leading the Hamriya Free Zone authorities and the airport, and they said, Rashid, how long the financial crisis is going to take us, and when we are going to go back to normal? I said, there's no back to normal, believe it or not. This will take not less than 10 to 15 years, and things even will get worse in between. And I was right. Things is getting worse, isn't it? Even you compare 2009 now to 2017, the moment we are living on, and now. If you see the CO2, which we used to be bumped back then, and now we're doing more than that time. So we're not doing good at all. If you see the geopolitical situations, very bad, getting worse. If you see the peace index of the United Nations, getting worse. If you see the violation within the same community, is getting worse. If you see the economy, is getting worse. By the way, we used to sell oil at the $120 back in 2009. We're selling it is below 50 now. So you could see it's not only us, I mean the whole world, whomever produce oil, right? And that is how severe the situation is. So we really need what we were writing at the back here, global shapers and history makers. We need people to think differently and see things differently. And during crisis, opportunities are created. So we're expecting a lot of opportunities too. Yes, we are living in a very evil times, unfortunately now. That is the reality, evil times. But I'm very optimistic that during evil times, angels are created also, and good people. And this is what we need you to stand up among the crowd and say, yes, we can make a difference. Just remember the fourth good news, that last week I was again selected by the solar global leaders as a global green ambassador. So that was another achievement I was proud of, yeah? And it keeps adding to my inspiration for a better tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to welcome all of you on the third day, because I'll be speaking about my legacy. I have decided what I'm going to leave behind. So if you are interested to see, it's going to talk about sustainability too, because we need to have sustainable earth even if we leave, right? So I'll be speaking about my aspirations and the way forward for this life. From now to then, please join the rest of the program. It's not only today. For those of you who are interested in enhancing their knowledge and acquiring more knowledge, please do join us tomorrow on the same platform here. And the day after is the Big Bang, the Tuesday. Wednesday, again, there's training, and usually the fifth is the night. In the morning, we don't have much. On the fifth day, we only have the night time, which is the excellence night, where we do appreciate those who've been with us on this journey for quite a long time. With this, I can say thank you very much. Thank you.